Thus, Peter is dealing with this concept of suffering, and but not only is he dealing with the celebration of suffering, he's dealing with the celebration of suffering when it's not your fault. Thus, his preceding discourse in chapter 4 talks about suffering, but not suffering as an evildoer. See, because if I don't go to work on time and I lose my job and my children are having a very difficult time eating and I'm having a very, very difficult time taking care of my baseline necessities because I don't have the economics to sustain my lifestyle, because my lifestyle did not have the discipline to maintain its sustenance. Now, so then I lose my job and my children can't eat and they're hungry and they are suffering. I can't pay my bills and I'm always stressed out because I can't make ends meet because I'm suffering. However, I'm suffering due to the lack of self-discipline. I'm suffering not unjustly. I'm suffering because of the lack of self-discipline. And Peter says that when you suffer, this is not the kind of suffering I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to suffer natural consequences for inappropriate behavior and decisions. He's saying, I'm telling you to celebrate a suffering that is causing you pain that you seemingly didn't have anything to do with. Thus, Paul raises the issue of suffering, and he says this about suffering: if I suffer with him, then I will also reign with him. Look to your neighbor, say, no suffering, no reigning. So once again, I'll say that Christianity is born in the context of striving, struggling, and suffering. You're striving to do a thing, and you're struggling to get it accomplished, and yet you're suffering from doing what is right. How is it that I could be going through so much when I'm trying to do the right thing? How is it that the evildoer that is not striving to expand God's kingdom, yet they're not struggling trying to get things accomplished, and surely they're not suffering? But here I am, I've made a decision to pick up my cross and follow him, and everything I touch seems to go bad. I don't seem to have the Midas touch. I don't seem to have the Joseph favor. It seems like any day my life can fall apart. If the wrong thing happens, I'm all the way done. How is it that I can make such a quality choice and live such a poor life? How is it that I can love God with all of my heart, my might, my soul, my strength, and my lights are about to be cut off? How is it that I can tithe and give offering, and I've been diagnosed with incurable disease? How is it that I support the things of God with everything in me, yet my children are doing so poorly in life? How is it that I'm making good decisions and reaping terrible harvests? To that, once again, I will say Christianity is at its best in the context of striving, struggling, and suffering. Whenever God really wants to give you a breakthrough and not cause you to have a breakdown, he creates the context in which the faith is at its best, and God is at its best in the midst of striving and struggling and suffering. Thus, when I really want to position myself for a move of God, I have to have a life that is striving to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And then because I am striving to establish the kingdom mandate in my life by making disciples for Christ's kingdom, I then am confronted with opposition. And so to do the right thing, striving, causes me to meet resistance and opposition. So when I try to do good, evil is always present. Whenever I desire to do the godly thing, the ungodly thing opposes me. When I try to do the will of God, then I encounter spiritual resistance. Thus, now because I'm striving to do the right thing, I'm now living a life of struggle. And see, herein we have a big dilemma and a problem, because when I was not striving to do the right thing, life wasn't this hard. When I was clubbing and when I was doing my thing, when I didn't have convictions, and when I didn't go through a great emotional and internal turmoil based on moral and ethical decisions, things were not this hard. So now I'm striving to do the will of God and struggling. I believe right now I must remind you of a principle. Christianity is at its best in the midst of striving, struggling, and suffering. Thus I choose to serve Christ. I'm striving to live the godly life. I'm striving to fulfill the will of God in my life. And now all of the freedom, emotional freedom that I once had, I no longer know, but I have God. So I've exchanged my long-term comfort for a short-term fix that seems to cause me to be discomfortable or uncomfortable. Now, what do you mean? I'm saying, well, when I come to Christ out of a crisis. So it's not that I'm really displeased with the whole of my life. I'm just displeased in the season of my life. And so had this season not occurred prior to then, I really was okay with where I was. But now I had such a crisis that I knew something was wrong, and I cried out to God, and he came in and gave me a short-term peace. He alleviated my immediate crisis by changing my perspective, but then he took a life that didn't have all of this complication on it, and he caused it now to be a life of struggle. Oh, Lord, help me.